Gellar and Vanessa, Chatbooker-in-Chief. Let's see. Okay, we're just gonna wait a couple more minutes and then we will get going. So just hold tight with us for just a minute.
Can you hear us?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Awesome, perfect.
Great.
Yay, we got it to work. So Galit said that another 10 minutes. They're running just a little bit late. Is that right?
Yeah, Sarah's traveling, so we're just gonna be a couple more minutes.
Okay.
Waiting for them.
So we probably should just keep, is there a way to like display a message so as people join, they're not wondering why we're just
I know, I
hanging out
wish.
here?
I don't see.
Or we can just keep saying it over and over again.
Yeah.
Or let's get everyone to log in, and maybe they can start asking questions. They can start submitting questions while we're waiting for her to join.
If you guys have questions, either for us as chatbookers or for Sarah Michelle, so that we can kind of get those prepped, you can ask any questions you want in the Q&A section or in the chat section too. Hey,
and if you're here, notify all of your people on social media. Let them know that we're doing this and have them come join. The more, the merrier.
Yeah, definitely.
Let's see.
You guys can hear us okay, right? Can somebody chat to us and tell us you can hear us? Let's see. Okay, Marissa says, I recently downloaded the app but haven't made or bought anything yet. Is there a way to take pictures directly out of the photo stream instead of from our favorites? Oh, and thank you, you can hear us. So we don't have a way to take them directly from the photo stream. It's only in your camera roll right now. So hopefully we can do that sometime soon, but right now it's just camera roll.
For sure, that's on the roadmap for our developers. That is something we really want to make happen. So, but for now, just right from your camera roll or from favorites.
Yeah, thank you for your question. We're just waiting a couple more minutes for Sarah Michelle to get here. She's traveling right now from, I think from LA to Chicago. So she's kind of in transit. So we're just gonna wait a couple more minutes for her.
Yeah, did they say 5:10? Is that when they think they'll be able to join in?
Yeah, 5:10 Utah time, 6:10 Central time.
Okay, right. In the meantime, do you notice these beautiful flowers on the wall here? These, an artist here in Utah named Brittany Jepson, her blog is House That Lars Built. She is transforming this room, which is really our kitchen and a group meeting area, into a secret garden. And so if you want to get on Chatbooks Snapchat, she's been taking over our Snapchat and posting progress pictures as she comes in and works on it. And I think she's even making a time-lapse video of the whole project that we'll post on our blog when it's all done. But anyway, shout out to House That Lars Built.
Hey, you guys, if you want to write in the comments where you're coming in from, we'd love to see where you are and why you're here. Say why you love either Sarah Michelle or Chatbooks. We want to hear from you. Awesome. Marissa's in St. Louis. Just a little bit. No, it's not bad.
I love St. Louis. We had, Nate and I had our wedding reception in St. Louis. His parents lived there when we got married.
Oh, fun.
Yeah. And every time we'd go back to visit, they lived in St. Louis for a few years, and we would always take the kids to the zoo. The St. Louis Zoo is awesome.
Oh, that's so fun. Marissa, just want to learn more about your business. Yes, we have tutorials all the time on our social media and everywhere else. Oh, it looks like Sarah Michelle is here.
Sarah, here she is. Yay.
1 second. Sorry, we're coming.
Okay, you're fine. Thank you.
Hey, guys.
Sorry, our flight was so late.
That's okay. We're just glad that you're here. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, of course. So we can go ahead and just get started here. I'm Heather from Chatbooks, and then we have Vanessa with us, and then Sarah Michelle Gellar is calling in. She's on the road right now, so we're so grateful that she's here. We're going to be chatting about Mother's Day, being a mom, all those kind of things, traditions. So let's see.
And she's just calling in today. Unfortunately, we don't get a video feed of her because we all know what it's like to be traveling and with delayed flights and stuff. But we're just so thrilled to have you here, Sarah. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you. I feel like I've literally been traveling for like the last 8 hours, and we just walked in. I mean, it was like a minute ago.
Oh my gosh. Thank you. Thank you. So I'm just
Of course.
I'm just going to give Sarah a little intro, and then we'll just dive right into the interview. So Sarah is obviously an amazing actress, and she's the co-founder of Foodstirs. Foodstirs is a kid-friendly line of signature baking mixes, frostings, and specialty curated food crafting kits that come complete with decorative supplies and tools. The products also contain non-GMO ingredients that are free from artificial preservatives, flavors, and colors. I've used them. I love them. They're amazing. Okay, so we'll just go ahead, and Vanessa, you can take it from here.
Well, first, Sarah, I want to tell you, I gave one of the Foodstirs kits to my daughter Claire, who's 12, on Sunday, and I said, I've got a little project for you. It is totally 100% everything you need right here. You can do the whole thing. And she made the cake pops all by herself, and they were amazing and awesome, and she felt like a hero. And as freaked out as she was about adding yogurt to the cake mix, it was so yummy. Seriously, so delicious.
Well, I think at the end of the day, I mean, as a parent, you want to be able to give your kids independence. And cooking is not just a tool for that, but it's fine and gross motor skills, it's vocabulary, it's math, it's science, it's all of those important tools that as a parent you want to pass along.
Totally. Well, and it's time in the kitchen with our kids because we're all so busy. But there is like a special bond there with mothers and children in the kitchen and baking, starting off at a really young age. But we know baking with kids can be totally stressful too when you're like trying to figure out if you have all the ingredients and trying to manage the mess. But you've made it so easy to get in there and make those memories without the headache. So I just love what you guys are doing.
Well, thank you. I think it's important to have those memories and should never be afraid of the mess. We always say embrace the mess. You know, mess is how you learn, and mess is what fosters creativity, and creativity is the road to invention.
Yeah, we have to remind ourselves of that often, don't we? Embrace the mess. Well, Sarah, we're so happy to be doing this Mother's Day collaboration with you guys. I know you've got kids. You've got a couple of kids, and I've got 7 kids at home. I'm the oldest of 12 kids, so the embracing the mess is taken to a whole new level when you're talking about numbers like that. But about your favorite Mother's Day traditions. As a mother, what are the things that you look forward to most on Mother's Day?
You know, I think what's interesting about Mother's Day now is it's multi-generational. It's not just a day for me. It's about my mom. It's about my husband's mother. And it's about all the caretakers around. I truly believe that it takes a village. I'm sure that's what you experienced having as many siblings as you did. And I just think that any day you can take a chance to celebrate and say thank you to the people that help make that village possible. It's important.
You know, sometimes I forget that Mother's Day is for all the other moms too. I'm like so excited about my day off that sometimes I completely forget about my own mother. But you're totally right. You're totally right. What are some of your? What was that?
I was just going to say that, you know, it's about celebrating everybody. And I never look at it as a day off. It's just a day to really take appreciation and take stock in the fact that, you know, having children is that true miracle, and how lucky we are, and you know, to sort of spend that day. I'm not one of those people that uses that day to like run off to a spa. It's usually just a brunch or, you know, a beach day with the family.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so do you have like a traditional thing that you guys do in your family on Mother's Day?
We don't, because it just depends on how many of us are around and how many people, you know, we can involve. And I think it can also be hard for people that can't get home. And I always feel badly for people. So it's about also adopting all the people who maybe don't have their mothers anymore or can't get them. And so we try to sort of have an open door policy on that day.
Yeah. Oh, that's so awesome. Well, I was so excited when I saw your Foodstirs kits for the pancakes, because one of our longstanding Mother's Day tradition is that I get breakfast in bed, and actually all the girls in our family get breakfast in bed. My husband and boys get up early and make a nice breakfast and deliver it on a tray, like all fancy. And so that kit is awesome because that makes it so easy. Do you have any traditions with food that have to do with Mother's Day?
I mean, in terms of tradition, we eat. I mean, that's always, all of our big gatherings are always around food. You know, my kids are still little, so it, you know, sometimes revolves a lot more around them and their schedules. But I think this year we might just have it at our house and have people over.
That sounds awesome. Well, tell us a little bit. We would love to hear more about how you got started with Foodstirs, like the idea behind it and what made you, like, I know starting a business takes a huge investment of time and energy, and you're already so business as a working actress and all the other things that you're doing. What made you decide to start Foodstirs?
I think we just saw a need for it. We realized the initial inspiration was definitely our children, and since then it's grown bigger than that. Initially, we were just inspired, or what are those moments where in a really connected society where we could really, you know, connect together. We always say that although the society is incredibly connected, ultimately everyone's becoming more and more disconnected, and they spend time on their phones, and people don't look people in the eye and communicate. And we really want to encourage those moments and celebrate those moments. And a lot of those really happen in the kitchen, whether you're newly dating someone, you go to dinners, you get to know them, you invite them over to dinners to meet your family, to meet your friends. It all sort of happens around the kitchen and around mealtime. And our kids were showing an interest in being in the kitchen. And from all of my charity work and everything, we were aware of the positives that come from it. Like we said earlier, fine and gross motor skills, math, science, vocabulary, and more than that, just a love of food and a love of spending time together. But I am a busy, you know, time-impoverished parent, or time-impoverished person, as I like to say. And so baking from complete scratch was just really not going to be an option. And when I went to the store to sort of find what my mix options were, I was horrified at the ingredients that were in them. And I thought, this is so odd. You go to any supermarket these days and you're surrounded by organic, non-GMO, you know, just really better for you, higher quality products. And I was just surprised to find that in the baking aisle, something that is steeped in tradition that people love and look forward to, that the ingredients were food colorings and artificial colors and salt and all of these items that, even not being a professional chef, I knew I didn't want in my body, in my kids' body, or in my friends' bodies. And so that was really the initial inspiration for us to really make a better quality, better tasting, better for you baking product. Say that 10 times fast.
I love it. Well, and they are so delicious. All the ones that I've tried, they're so yummy. And I love how everything's in there, because there's nothing like starting a baking project or some, you know, cooking something and realizing you're missing a key ingredient, but you've got that all.
Of course, or spending a lot of money on a baking ingredient that you may not use again, and that it can be incredibly wasteful. And then from there, we sort of took it from the mixes, then became the kits, which are, how do you take it one step further? In the age of Pinterest, where generally there's a gap between inspiration and execution, you know, we're all guilty of it. We pin all these beautiful items, but what are the odds we're actually going to make them or do them? And so we use the kits as a way to give you that courage in a box to push you to that next level of creativity.
Well, and it's so genius. And actually, you just mentioned the box. When she finished the project and I was cleaning up, I started to take the box apart, and my 8-year-old's like, no, stop. I want to keep that box. And then I noticed you had printed on the box, like, ideas of what you can do with the box. So it's just like the gift that keeps on giving. It's so genius.
I just feel that in this day and age of toys and computers, you know, what are the creative outlets that really spark children? And it can just be a box. There's a great book called Not Just a Box. It's one of my favorite kids' books, and it shows all the different things to a kid that just a box can be and what you can do with it. And I think it's really important that we take a step back from all of this, you know, artificial intelligence, which is great and great for us, but at the same time, remember that, you know, that all comes from creativity.
Well, totally. And the fact that my 8-year-old recognized value in a cardboard box, I love that and felt like all is not lost.
No, it is not lost.
So do you have some favorites? What are your favorites in your Foodstirs line?
You know, I say I'm very partial to the pancakes, which are new. I always say that when I used to make pancakes, I always threw out the first few, but for some reason with these, though it's so simple, and because our pancakes also come with the mold, which I think makes is really the trick to making beautiful pancakes, because that way they all look the same. There's sort of a uniformity to them.
Yeah.
I go back and forth. I love the cake pops. I definitely like my indulgent treat.
So I had never made cake pops before. They just looked way too intimidating. But, you know, I kind of peeked into the kitchen every now and then while Claire was in there making them, and it's totally doable and surprising, actually. You make the cake, crumble it up, and so fun.
Yeah, all of our products are less than 6-7 steps. We really try to keep it simple and manageable. And, you know, we don't want people to give up their entire life to make these projects. We want to make it simple and a really positive and good experience at the same time as being easy.
Oh, I loved it. Well, I love, I have a problem with baking personally, because if I bake something, then I end up eating it. So I've kind of quit baking altogether, but my kids, they've decided or realized that if we want treats around the house, they have to make it themselves. So they've all like picked one thing that they have learned to make completely on their own. Like my 17-year-old, he does chocolate chip cookies. Like he's got the memory up here. He makes them from scratch, like, and they're amazing. And my 15-year-old does sweet rolls, and then Isabel, she has these banana muffins that she makes. And so that's been how we've coped with this whole baking thing in a crazy household. But this Foodstirs thing is so awesome, and I'm so excited about it. So thank you.
Well, I believe that everything should be given in moderation. So it's not just no to baking items. It's when you do have them, make sure they're of the highest quality, because at the end of the day, it's not the sugar that our body has trouble breaking down. It's the artificial sugars. It's all of the dyes, the preservatives. That's what gets stored as fat in our body. I mean, I'm not saying that you should go and eat 50 million cookies at any point, but you should always treat yourself, but treat your body right.
Well, you know, and I love the portion size in your kits too. That was another thing, because I mean, that's like the portion sizes in America are insane, but like the amount of cake pops that came out of the mix, they were perfect. And so,
oh, thank you. Yeah, that's important to us, because portion control is really, you have to learn that at a young age. You know, I think a lot of our parents came from a generation of you have to finish everything on your plate and there's hungry people. And, you know, now we're learning that we have to eat when our body tells us we're full, it's okay. And to try to make within that moderation.
Exactly. Exactly. Well, awesome. Well, do you have anything else you want to share with us? I'm super interested in your business partnership. You know, I started Chatbooks with my husband, Nate, and I think you started Foodstirs with your girlfriends. Is there anything that you can share with us and our listeners about starting a business with people you're close to?
It's the best process I've ever been through, because you're truly with your partner. I mean, it really defines what that word means, and someone that understands your life and the ups and the downs. And you know, I hear this conversation a lot about work-life balance. Well, there's no such thing as work-life balance. Like we have to work for a living, and we're fortunate in our position that we get to do a job that we love, but to be able to do it with someone that truly supports you and understands what happens in your life in the day-to-day is really amazing. And to be able to show our children that we had an idea and we saw it through from just a conceptual idea to an actual living, breathing, you know, item that you can tangible, that you can touch. And, you know, it always makes these travel days easier too, because you're always traveling with your best friends.
Totally, totally.
And then it's great too, is we always say we love Chatbooks, because then we could take all of our trips and all of our crazy pictures that we have, and then we have, you know, we make them into books. And I have to give you guys credit too, because it is something that I worried about for some time. You know, when I was younger, I loved developing pictures and really spending time in the darkroom and putting my pictures in a frame and, you know, all over my house. And I took such pride in it. And then we got to this digital age where all the pictures are so accessible on our phones and our laptops, our devices, but we don't really display them and have them physically anymore. And Chatbooks is such a great way to really sort of commemorate a trip, a year, a birthday, whatever those milestones are, and to really have it physical and tangible.
Well, I can attest to your talent for capturing the moment. I saw you at all snapping pictures left and right, and you're right. Like I was putting together the slideshow, and I needed some pictures back from 2003, and I knew I had them somewhere, but I didn't have them printed. And I dug out of the basement a box with 5 hard drives, and I had to go through all of them trying to find this photo library from 2003. I mean, it was a nightmare. And I really wish I had Chatbooks way back then, because then I could actually like get my hands on them. But it took me a full entire day to try to find this one photo from 2003.
Well, if you remember, like there used to be brag books when you had your child, and you had like the little brag books in your pocketbook, and it would have pictures of your kids and, you know, all of that. I love photography, and I never want to see that, you know, the real art of it go away.
So what are some other ways then that you capture your memories? So you use Chatbooks, right?
Yes, of course. That's how I met you guys. That's how I met you guys.
No.
We have about 10 minutes left. So Sarah, I just have one more quick question for you. As a mom, how do you do you try and intentionally make traditions for your family? I know that I do with my kids. Or how do you go about traditions in your family?
You know, we're finding them as we go, you know, and sometimes they come at you in like the least places where you expect it. The other day, my husband and I were like, we've got to do Sunday night dinners. Mm-hmm. And we're like, yeah, let's do that. And so we started, this was a couple months ago. And so now we started the Sunday night tradition, and we just invite different people over and their families, and they come over and we cook. And it's really sort of become this great tradition that a lot of our friends look forward to, is like Sunday nights at our house. And because neither my husband nor I came from a big family, it's really a great way to have extended family and to celebrate that. And I love those traditions that sort of come from different places, like the ones that you don't expect.
Yeah, I love that. They just kind of evolve and happen. That's great. What about you, Vanessa?
Yeah.
Me?
Yeah.
Well, you know what? I've realized over the years, we'll get hot on a tradition and then things kind of fizzle out, and then we'll pull up another tradition. And the other day, my 10-year-old, she got a little teary-eyed saying, we don't do any of the traditions we used to do anymore. And I don't know if that's just because we've gotten busy, or as my kids get older, sometimes you think maybe the little things don't matter as much. But I'm like what Sarah just said, all of a sudden making Sunday night dinners like a tradition. Like I'll get an idea like, oh, we're going to do this from now on. And it doesn't matter how long it lasts. It's just doing stuff, trying new stuff, and just making an effort to be together as a family.
Awesome.
It's important. Whether that's your actual blood family or the family that you create around you, it's really important to take that step and appreciate it, because life moves really quickly.
Exactly.
Great. Okay, well, you guys, that was awesome. We're going to start taking some questions. So if you guys have any questions for Sarah, Michelle, you can go ahead and type them into the Q&A or the chat, and then I will read them. So we have a question. Let's see. What is Sarah's favorite desserts?
I would say right now, goodness, it's fun because we have some new recipes coming up too, so it's hard not to give stuff away. I will say that the tasting process and the testing process is really fun. But right now, my favorite treat might be Foodstirs cake pops, I would have to say.
They are so good.
I tried we did the brownie popsicles, and those were so good. Like I dream about them all the time. They were incredible.
And you have very sweet dreams.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, Leslie's asking, who is your business role model? I like this question.
You know, it's all the women and men and people that I meet along the way. Everyone's an inspiration. Vanessa, you're an inspiration. You had this idea, and it's not something you went to school and studied for years, and you made it happen. And I'm always inspired by anyone that has a dream and goes after it. Those are the people that really sort of carpe diem, seize the day. And with my travels with Foodstirs and even acting too, it's that you get to meet all these incredible people that have a dream and chase it and make things happen.
Great.
Totally.
James is asking, what music do you like at the moment?
Goodness, I never get control of the radio. I mean, it's really true. Like if my husband's driving, he has control. When the kids are in the car, they have control. My son's favorite song right now is No, No, No by Meghan Trainor. My daughter's favorite song is Misery Business from Paramore. And if I have any alone time in the car, I'm a show tunes girl. I'm definitely a Broadway baby.
Oh, me too. I like to belt it out with them all.
I love that.
Yeah, I'll listen to my Seth Rudetsky on the Broadway station on my XM. I love it.
Love him. Love him.
Right?
I love
so
that.
good.
A few people are asking what Sarah's favorite kit is. I think she said at the moment it's the pancakes. She loves the pancakes.
I love the pancakes, but I do love the cake pops, I have to say.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm kind of torn.
That's right.
That's awesome. How about, here's a question. Will Foodstirs be going international anytime soon? Everyone should be
so. You know,
kids.
We hope so. You know, right now we're starting to make the transition to retail. We'll be coming out, I can't say where yet, but we're going to start hitting retail shelves by the end of the summer.
Oh, wow.
And our goal is obviously to go international as well, but because of, you know, regulations and stuff, it takes a little time. But we hope to. I mean, there's so many places. I want to take it to Australia and England and, I mean, all over yourself, everybody. I mean, I would love to be able to bring it to everyone.
Okay, let's see, Leslie is asking, what is the best advice you've gotten as a mom?
You know, I listen to everything, but it's about how it affects you and if it's useful to you. I always say there's no such thing as bad advice because you can learn what not to do at the same time. So you take it all in and you have to figure out what applies to you. And it's just finding those moments. It's finding those moments for yourself that's important so that you can be there for your children. And to me, the most important thing is to be present wherever I am. When I'm with my kids, I put my phone down. I want to be with them. And when I'm at work, I want to be focused on that. And I want to be able to, when I'm with my friends, be present for them.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah, you kind of have to take everything with a grain of salt, like see how it applies to you and take the things that you love and yeah.
But I've heard you say that a couple of times today about just being present and being in the moment. And I think that is the best advice for all moms because it's so easy to get like strung out on all the different things that are, you know, pulling at our attention. And especially, you know, when you're running a business and filming, you know, doing what you're doing, you know better than any of us.
Absolutely.
Okay, we'll take one more question. Let me go through here.
There's so many good questions in here.
I know there are. Let's see.
It's always so hard. I wish I had the time to answer everyone's questions all the time. And, you know, with social media, it's definitely made it easier in a way to be able to get your word out and answer people's questions. But at the same time, it makes it harder because you just feel like there are so many that are left unanswered at the same time.
I know.
Oh, okay. Let's see.
Heather, you pick.
Yeah. Brianna says, what's your favorite thing to do to unwind?
I love to read. I have to say that's definitely, books are my escape. And I love, you know, because I travel a lot, I'll read a lot on my iPad, but I love the feel of like a book in my hands and turning the pages. And if I can, like today, I brought a hardcover book with me and it was just so much fun. It made a very long journey today seem much faster.
See, and that's why you love Chatbooks. It's that thing you can hold on to, right?
It is. But it's very true. And it's something to look at. It's like when you're going on a trip, and I do travel so much. It's like I just throw a chapbook in my bag, and I have my family with me, which is really important.
Oh, I love it. Oh, you are so awesome. I know you are like one of the busiest women in the country right now. Thank you so much for taking a little bit of time to talk to us. Thank you for Foodstirs. Thank you for being one of our most favorite chatbookers. Heather.
Oh, thank you. And thank you girls too, because honestly, you give us back our memories, and that's really important. And we appreciate all that we get from our Chatbooks too.
Thank you so much, Sarah. I have one more question for you from us at Chatbooks. What is your one, what are you hoping for Mother's Day this year? Just your one kind of wish that you think will happen, that you hope will happen.
Oh my goodness. I just want to spend time with my family. I never like to I don't try to put expectations on anything because I find that the craziness and the unexpected is my favorite parts of all of it. So I just hope that we can all spend time together and, you know, really just, you know, live at that moment. And good weather. Yes. I want some good weather. I want to go to the beach. I want some good weather.
Oh, the beach.
Oh, that sounds amazing.
Okay, well, for everyone out here who were listening in, just so you guys know, every time, or for the first 10,000 people who order Foodstirs this week, you'll get a free Chatbook, and vice versa. Everybody who orders a Chatbook will get a free Foodstirs kit in your Chatbook for the first 10,000 people. So thanks again, Sarah, so much, and Vanessa.
Thank you.
You guys were amazing.
Great trip, Sarah.
Okay,
Thank you.
We love you. We love you, girls, and we miss you.
We love you.
Okay, bye.